Hi there, it's Damon Hill, and thanks for joining me in some of the secrets inside a winning sponsorship proposal. In this presentation, I'm going to introduce to you the structure of a winning sponsorship proposal. Look, it's vitally important that you take your potential sponsor on a carefully crafted journey of your sponsorship opportunity if you want to keep them engaged in your presentation from start to finish. So let's have a look. Now, your title page or front cover page obviously needs to grab their attention. Make a statement as soon as your potential sponsor first sees it. You'll see in this slide the pop-outs on the side, and there's four, very important or key elements that you need to keep it in your mind when creating a good, strong title page. Firstly, your title header. Secondly, the use of a great image. Thirdly, there might be an opportunity to use a great quote that's relevant to your opportunity. But with all the time keeping in mind that your objectives are to get the sponsor excited and engaged in what comes next within your proposal. Now, the next slide talks about, again, reinforcing the value, making a compelling statement of what your opportunity is about. Now, I call this the only optional slide when we're creating a sponsorship proposal. And by that I mean, depending on what we've put on the front cover, we're not necessarily just going to duplicate it with no particular agenda on this second page. So if you feel like that your front cover covers it off and says everything and makes that compelling statement, then I'll call this, as I said, the optional page. You don't have to do it. But when you do use this page, what you can do is, again, reinforce some of the key elements, okay? So a great image or a great quote might really drive home a very important message up and above what it is that you're selling. Okay, so if it was a charity, for instance, or whatever, it can talk about the effect that your sponsorship will create. Now, in one of our other presentations, which is the online instructional guide to a successful sponsorship proposal, we'll show you exactly how to use this page to create an emotive anchor for your sponsorship opportunity going forward. In this section of our proposal, you'll start to introduce the detail of your opportunity in both long and short-term format. Now, I'll give you a little tip. I always like to present the short or the bullet-pointed, benefits or outline, if you like, of the opportunity prior to the page that then has the overview or the more detailed, which might be 3 or 4 paragraphs long. So, again, trying to keep a flow. The object here is to keep a flow in the presentation. So it's the first thing they've read about your presentation. You might choose to, as I said, bullet point some of the details about the presentation, place, time, audience figures, all these types of things, and then talk about it in a slightly longer form to them. Okay, so ever drawing them through, they want to know more, so they'll come to the next page. All right, adding your content. All right, this is obviously a large and is the sort of center, if you like, of your sponsorship proposal. But what I've highlighted here on this slide is, amongst these things, 2 very important factors are highlighting the demographic and psychographic layout or footprint of your audience fan base, because this is very important for the sponsor. All right, they need to understand that an opportunity with you is also an opportunity with their potential customers, if you like, and people that will relate to the message that they are purporting or choosing to put out in the marketplace. So this section, again, we talk about the demographic and psychographic, and how we do that is we create what we call an avatar, which is just an overview which includes some demographic and also that psychographic information, and clearly explains to that sponsor, here are the type of people that will be here absorbing this asset, and hence we'll see your sponsorship and activation around it. Again, we go into more detail, far more detail, and show you how to actually write these avatars in our online instructional guide to a successful sponsorship proposal. So don't sort of panic. It does sound quite daunting, but it's really quite a simple process once you understand how. So keep that in mind. They're really important parts to include in a sponsorship proposal. That sponsor is going to want to know who your target audience is, so they can see if it's relatable to their target audience. Creating media value. Media creates a part of almost every sponsorship opportunity. Now, it's a byproduct in my mind. It's not necessarily a key element to sponsorship. It's very important to have a media upside wherever possible. And your potential sponsor is going to want to clearly understand the value they can get from both mainstream media channels and also, if you have good media clout, social media clout, my apologies, they're going to want to know this because, again, they're going to want to know how they can explore opportunities around leveraging that. So not everybody's going to have mainstream media access, okay? But don't undervalue the power of social media, and keep in mind that, obviously we all have the ability to control and manage our social media, and it's a very powerful tool to a lot of sponsors out there. Now, this for me absolutely is where the gold's at with regards to just being completely different when you're taking your sponsorship proposal in versus the other, 10 or 20 or however many this corporate that you've approached has. This is where you'll stand out from every one of those other sponsorship proposals on that marketing manager's desk. And it's the part that 99% of sponsorship seekers do not do well, or even at all. And I can assure you that 100% of sponsors want to see and understand exactly what is in this section. So I'm going to show you how to do your research on the potential sponsor and then create some potential winning ideas and propose them for the sponsor based on the amount of information you've been able to garnish and understand from the internet and from their website and perhaps other initiatives that they've taken. So I'll show you exactly what you need to do, again, in the online instructional guide to a successful sponsorship proposal, so that you will crush any of your other sort of competitors for that sponsorship dollar. This section, guys, again, I cannot drive home how important it is to get this done and get it done well, because it will just absolutely make you stand out. Now, I'm sure you all have this area in your sponsorship proposal. It's the list of things that you'll supply the sponsor in return for their investment. But what I want to do is I want to show you ways to find extra and tailored value that adds to what you're offering, and they're things that you've probably not considered as value options in the past. So almost just open up your thinking process a little bit to really what the meaning of value is and could be to a potential sponsor. These are the winners. These are the parts that make your opportunity worth more to the potential sponsor than the last or the next sponsorship proposal they receive. Okay, so we all understand the designation to things and putting stickers and signage on things, but there's a lot more that you can add and you can bring to the table and present as a value, and that includes your intellectual property. So this is a really, really cool section to open that up, and you'll find that you're actually able to ask for more money than you've ever asked for before, and whilst at the same time increasing the chances of getting it. So this is a really cool section to learn and understand, and it's not difficult. Once you sort of see that direction or get in that mindset, you'll be creating extra value over and over again. Now, the final page of any sponsorship proposal is the terms, and where you put the request, the monetary request or in kind that you're seeking. But let me share a secret with you. The potential sponsor is not going to give you what you want unless it is equal or less than the value that you are offering them. Now think about that, because a lot of people just put a number that they want without considering what the value is to that potential sponsor they are proposing this to. How many sponsorship proposals are you sending out and asking for too little in return? If you haven't considered, or if you don't understand the value of what it is that you are proposing, then how can you possibly ask for the correct number? you may be giving away your assets too cheaply. I'm Damon Hill, and it's been a pleasure showing you what is possible if you really want to do what it takes to become a best practice sponsorship seeker. So until next time, happy sponsorship seeking and have a great day.